Welcome to Radiant Health, where we're immersing ourselves in the last stanza of the Australian Arti. And as we feel the energy of these words, knowing that Baba has directed us to be Baba centers personified, radiating his eternal message of love divine. If you so choose, you can allow your form, your body, your mind, your spirit to be a Baba center personified, radiating your connection with the divine and sharing that. As Baba says, love is contagious and it will go on spreading until it touches everyone. And then humanity will attain a new mode of being from the pure and unhampered interplay. I think it's the free and unhampered interplay of pure love from heart to heart. So you come for yourself as a lover of God, and we come in service to the whole, especially at this time in humanity. So as you get yourselves comfortable, I'm going to read something from May 15th, 1969. The Australian group arrived at Guru Prasad, Pune, India, by bus. They met Erich and the other Mandali members. The group assembled in the main room of Guru Prasad and sat facing Baba's chair. I'm going to put my, just a second. And sat facing Baba's chair and the Mandali. Baba's chair was placed in the center of the room, close to the back wall. The men Mandali were grouped on the right side and the women on the left. Erich was the MC, and the clock struck 9. Erich welcomed the group and said, "It's 9 o'clock. Today is the 15th of May. It is the day for the Australian group of Baba lovers to have Baba's darshan. This is the third large group that has come to Guru Prasad for Baba's darshan since the darshan started on 10th April 1969. We begin by invoking beloved Baba's name. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai." Erich then introduces Francis. And this is what Erich says. "I think I've sufficiently covered the announcements of the day, and now we will request our dear Francis to start his address to you, the Western lovers of Baba. This is the same address that he read to the Group 1 that came from the west coast of the USA, and Group 2 that came from the east coast of the USA. Now, this is for the third time that Francis is reading the address to the lovers from Australia, Group 3. And for Group 4, Francis has given me permission to read the same address when Francis leaves for Australia with the group, or soon after the Australia group leaves. So this is the same address that was heard by all the lovers from the different parts of the world. And then Francis addresses the group, which I will not read all of it, but I'm going to read just some of it for right now. The mighty beloved, I am amazed and filled with joy to discover that the beloved I have been serving for many years is truly a mighty beloved. Of course, I have known all along that he was God, but there are so many gods. There is the God in which people see in a shape of illusion, such as a sunset, or a mountain view, or a symphony, or whose hand is seen in one's not getting caught in a rainstorm, or obtaining a good job. No doubt a very comfortable and profitable God to have, well worth a Christian candle or some Hindu incense, but not a God to whom one would offer one's life. There is the God who rules the shining plains of consciousness, but sight of him would blind one. And the God who is beyond the plains is unknowable except by his own grace. And he is extremely careful to whom he gives that grace. So when beloved Baba used to tell us that he was God, I used to think, yes, Baba, you are God all right, the one God and all the gods. But what good is that to me? In fact, I used to get so fed up with him being God that I wished he wasn't. Or I wished he was a sort of Old Testament God for whom I could slaughter some fat lambs or a spotless young bull in return for some acreage. I got so tired of him being so much God that I wrote a song about it and sang it to him. It goes something like this. If you were a bit less God, a bit more man, I wouldn't feel so much like someone's upside down in a garbage can. I don't know the tune to that, but I'm going to just sing a tune. If you were a little bit less God, a bit more man, I wouldn't feel so much like someone upside down in a garbage can. But Baba wasn't going to become more man just for my sake. So I had to settle for him as the divine beloved, one whom I could serve sometimes instead of thinking about myself all the time. After all, although he is God and sometimes is man, being one's own and the world's beloved is his main job. Others can become as much God or as much man as he, but only Baba is more beloved than any other beloved and is infinitely worth serving. But now a great problem arises: how to serve the one who is all beloved. For whatever one does with love is done by him, and all that is done for the beloved is done by the beloved. And so one arrives at the painful conclusion that the beloved alone exists, which means that oneself doesn't. And that's a terrible predicament to find oneself in, for one is still there. The only solution I found was to accept the position: you alone are, and I am not, but we are both here. You alone are, and I am not, but we are both here. And now I have spotlighted the Dooney fire that I took a picture of from the Dooney in Mehrabad today, which is being aired on January 12th, 2021. And I'm just going to read the words to the Australian Arti, and you receive them in the way that you need to receive them. And Baba's playing with me, so he doesn't want the words up to just challenge my memory, which I think I do know it all by heart. O glorious, eternal, ancient one. And I encourage deep belly breaths into your whole being. Your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep, my heart, Meher, I give to you to keep. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar, who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me until death. Unless you, who are infinitely kind, break the wheel's hub, which is conditioned mind. This incense and this love, this fruit, my arts, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond this shining hour. You are myself. I sing to you in praise and beg your love to bear me through the days till you, the ever living, perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. And now I invite you to continue to breathe for a moment and just feel the sensations in your beings in this eternal now. And then taking some deep conscious breaths into your precious human form, this Baba Center personified. Whenever you're ready, bringing your eyes open, seeing your environment perhaps with new wonder and awe and new inspiration coming from Baba's Francis, the poet, the artist, the beloved. Then I invite you to share what you're feeling in this moment or anything that is vibrating in your consciousness right now that you'd like to share to bring it into consciousness for us that are in this eternal now or for those that might be receiving this in the timeless future. And leave some space for that.
Well, I will share because in this moment, I'm just kind of full of wonder, and the wonder is about the I am and I'm not, um, and I do often feel that way, meaning that yes, I'm a human being and I am here and of this earth, and I also know that I am not. And sometimes it feels kind of crazy, and sometimes it feels rather wonderful. Um, and um, and so in this moment, I'm just appreciating the wonder of the am and the not, if that makes any sense at all.
Well, to Baba, it's perfect sense. The everything and the nothing.
Well, yeah, and I will just share with you all that uh, today is the anniversary of my mother's death,
Oh,
and so I've just been feeling a lot all day long, and very much the am and the not, and feeling connected to her, and yet her not being here, and her being with me, and I mean, it's just some crazy stuff. This being a human being, so yeah, my heart's feeling pretty full.
Thank you for sharing that. I feel my heart fuller in the sharing of that. Hilda, would you like to go?
I, yeah, I just wanted to share that from the very beginning of your reading of the Arti, I started feeling the sensation of this, and I'm interpreting it to be my heart chakra, but opening to my back and just blooming like an ever blooming chrysanthemum that just keeps coming out and coming out and coming out. And I'm still having that sensation. And it just is, oh, I want to sit and just feel this for about the next 36 hours.
So be it.
It just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just this beautiful, it's like a love bloom.
And I can, in my mind's eye, see your back heart chakra. We have the vortex in the front and in the back opening with all of those petals and in the beautiful multi-coloredness of the chakra. And that, in some spiritual wisdom, having to do with the past. And for you,
Mm.
healing in time and space for yourself and all humanity, forgiveness of the past,
Mm.
forgiveness of the wounds where we felt we weren't loved or lovable. And I think that Hilda, on behalf of, like, as Baba works through us, what you're opening for humanity about forgiving, forgetting, and loving is, I mean, my whole body is pulsating. I'd like to sit in this for 36 hours too.
Oh, well, thank you for that. That makes so much sense for me. So much sense.
Jay Baba. Would anyone else like to share anything about how they're feeling or what resonated with them from what we've experienced so far?
I didn't go anywhere. I was here, um, enjoying the presence of this precious soul with me, which is, I see God in this thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's just such a love affair. I can't begin to explain it.
No need.
Fairstay, what's your cat's name?
Phoebe,
Are
spelled
you
F.
talking about Baba or the cat?
Well, it's the same to me right now. It's Foebe. I think it's Baba in kitten form that has come to love me and be a vessel to receive my love and entertain me endlessly. And it's just been really joyful. I don't know. I'd rather look at her than go it within.
Well, I tell you, I don't know if you could see what your screen looked like when she was looking into the screen. I felt like Baba was playing through the animal world, looking at us with such delight. Like Francis said, some people know it through the mountain or the skies, and that Baba was shining, not to poo-poo how powerful Baba is through animals. And just delightful to
Yeah.
see her curiosity and willingness to engage.
Yeah, she's pretty special kitty, I think. She's Baba sent for sure.
I like that when we don't, when we're not searching for occasions to be offended or to solve a problem, we can just be curious. Like I think like curious as a cat, just like curious. And just knowing that you have all those 9 lives and whatever that is and the ability to pounce and move and all of that. And to be aloof if you want to and take care of yourself and to be affectionate if you want and who cares what anyone else thinks. I think I used to poo-poo cats, but now I'd like to own more cat nature in myself, devoted to my higher self and God.
They're very zen and they're very, I mean, this thing can go from complete zen to complete bouncing off the walls. And it's the same to her. It's like all the same.
Mhm. Yeah, she's perfectly comfortable in her own fur.
Yeah, that's right.
That perfectly comfortable in our own fur. Hmm. Thank you so much for sharing that. Would anyone else like to share how they're feeling or what resonated with them?
What I've been concentrated on for really maybe weeks now are these few words that came from Baba through Narena. I just love them so much. It's just so simple, especially now with so much isolation. See me live in you in small ways of life. The everyday ritual of selfless harmony. The unsatisfied element in you is God, who needs you to be like him. Unsatisfied humor is God, when winning in you the dual show of I. Anyway, I love those lines. Like, there's something absolutely grand about, a little small life. I mean, life is life.
Every time you read those in a session that I might be in with you, I feel that blossoming, like the heart center, like the blossoming and the truth of that more and more, the unfolding of the flower, accepting it as you would a simple flower, and it opens a little bit more in my awareness. I don't know if my mind will remember it, but I feel something open with your devotion to Baba and that particular passage. And I'm so grateful that you keep sharing it as it's alive and active and manifesting with you.
It's so funny that in the Australian Arti, I used to sing the wrong thing. Instead of the flower that has no use, I would sing the child that has no use beyond its shining hour. And I thought, whoops.
I mean, that's a lesson for parenting. I've been kind of learning about how the attachment to parenthood and motherhood can be really thwarting of being with Baba. Like, yes, take care of our children and love them and all that, but the child that has no use beyond the shining hour. I love that you said that, Rosalie, because that's, I think, a healing for me personally. Not to just to continue to remember not to be attached to those children as having something that they have to forever owe me or be in relationship with me in some sort of you know, that's up to Baba whatever happens, but I love how you would transpose this child that has no use beyond the shining hour, and us too.
One of my very favorite birthday cards that my father gave me one year, and this was later on in his years, was something about, with the first ray of the sun, I wake up and I'm grateful to God for lending me you. Happy birthday.
Oh.
So yes, they're not ours, right? It's just a loan.
I feel that with those on the call present moment and even in the future eternal now, like on loan from the creator, we all are to each other in this moment. And what a blessed gift it is to be willing to be with one another. I mean, we don't have to be willing to be with anyone, and to come together and to be in this forum. I think that like on loan from the creator are all of us to each other for this moment to enjoy. I love Robert Ian has a song that I think I'm saying his last name right. The purpose of creation is to remind us to remember God. And sometimes I sing it, the purpose of creation is to remind us to remember love. And the purpose of creation, whatever that means to us, but I always feel it as to experience love in relationship. Why did God have the original whim, who am I? To experience that I am God, from the separate to the union. Which brings us to that last stanza of the Australian Arti. You are myself. We're singing to God. You are myself. I sing to you in praise. And I shared when I began the first session of the 5 stanzas, singing that. I've been to Mehrabad once, and singing that outside of Samadhi, that line, like spiritual lightning, opened me. The tender intimacy, the power of that, the imagination is that, could that be true? Could I be singing to God? Like I am God and I'm singing to God in praise? As that one, as Francis said, at the end, like, how do I deal with this? Well, you are me and I'm not here. So I've been feeling the building up for this session of radiant health, especially at this moment in time, that we can affirm that oneness with God. And then even with our breath in this moment, just imagine like concentric circles, as if you were throwing a rock into the lake over the footbridge in Myrtle Beach. The concentric circles of radiating, that opening in the hearts of all human beings. Everything. You are myself, I sing to you in praise. And until such time as we know that fully, we beg. I love the word beg too. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the days. And I have certainly begged Baba's love to bear me through some days over the last few years, and on behalf of all humanity that might not have the awareness of Baba, to beg his love to bear me as the universal oneness through the days. till you, the ever living, perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun. And then I think of the darkness in the world and the darkness in me. That's what I would offer that up to in this moment, is if there's some personal darkness, which is just the place that you can't see clearly. There's not, it's not fully illuminated yet, which unless we're perfect masters or one of the 56 and all that kind of stuff we're going to have. Take this moment to reflect on, is there any darkness that you feel that you would like to open up to be illumined in this present eternal now? And then there'll be two prongs to that. And is there darkness on behalf of humanity or existence that you are going to that you would like to call on the infinite one to illumine for this precious creation? So I'm going to just mute for a second, a moment, everyone, and then just invite you, whatever you feel called to. It's you and Baba, as always. And if you so choose in this moment, this daring dive into the eternal now, where Baba says the solutions to all your problems lie, not in the fleeting present moment, the past, or the projections of the future, but in the vast, infinite, eternal now, calling on Baba to illumine, to shine light, to clarify some personal darkness in you. And then, if you haven't already, expanded it out to all of existence, calling on, praying to beloved Baba to illumine the darkness of this world with his shining sun. And use your imagination and the feelings and the energy and the thoughts to share that. Maybe specific people that you know, specific places in this world, and for all. And then using your authority as one with God, direct this energy, this love, if you so choose, to continue to pulsate, to illumine your own personal darkness, wounds, fears, pains, whatever they are, and to continue to radiate this illumination of the perfect one to the darkness of this world. Just an automatic, autopilot radiation of your life being a living ministry, a traveling darshan, a stationary darshan, a Baba Center personified, radiating his eternal message of love divine, living a life of love, sacrifice, honesty, purity, truth, beauty, cheerfulness, enthusiasm, equipoise, faith in yourself, faith in others, faith in life, faith in the Master, compassion, joy, surrender, service, servitude, obedience, devotion, strength, generosity, humor, abundance, and all the pulsating divine qualities, if there's more coming to you, for yourself and for humanity. And then if you so choose in this moment, you can imagine the Duni fire in Mehrabad, or you can see that shared on the screen. If there's anything that you would like to throw into the Duni energetically, for yourself personally, for someone you know, for the whatever it is, you can take this moment to be in the eternal now with the Duni, standing by that fire, knowing that Baba's tomb is a stone's throw away, knowing that you are an instrument of his peace. You are him, and he sings to you in praise too. Anything you would like to throw into the Duni, to do so now. Now I'm going to come back and invite you all to take some breaths and even move your body around. I think I just said take some breaths, which is lovely as well too, I think. Knowing that everything, leaving the fruits of the action to Baba. Baba's got this, and we just get to be the instrument of his peace. We just get to be this shining flower. We just get to offer just for the pure love of God. And would anyone like to share a word or a phrase or a sentence, perhaps their intention or what they're feeling or what they are praying for humanity, before I close with a recording of the Arti that I think is pretty cool?
Well, I dare to throw the whole darkness of this world into the Duni fire. Oops.
Should be Baba Farishte, thank you.
And just prayed for unity consciousness to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow.
Amen. So be it.
Amen.
And I'm just remembering Bao's words that he emphasized so much, that Baba is all love, all compassion, all forgiveness. And just embracing that compassion for everything that we're experiencing right now, and forgiving it and embracing it with love.
I mean, there is nothing to forgive. It's all Baba.
Yeah.
It's all Baba doing what Baba's doing. You know, nothing to forgive. It just
And
is.
that forgiveness, yeah, that forgiveness comes from us forgetting that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to forgive the forgetting, so that we can forget that what we had to forgive. that
Cindy, I
Yes,
had a question. I heard when you were reciting the prayer at the beginning, I heard you say the third stanza a little differently. Are you doing
I
that?
think I did, but not on purpose.
Okay.
I was aware, and I even said, I think I might be, because Baba, I had it right up on the screen and it went away. And I thought, oh, Baba, thank you. And so I don't know exactly what I said, but I
It was
knew
it
that I
was
was
kind of
just doing my
cool.
best.
It was very cool. I'm like,
So
oh,
that's
I couldn't repeat it back to you,
something
but
about love.
yeah,
I'll listen to this recording. It was something about love. And what I heard was that I'm not getting it wrong. I'm just manifesting something right now.
that's the way
A
it came
deeper meaning
across.
manifesting.
Yeah, it came across
Mhm.
that way. Cool.
Very cool.
The other thing I wanted to say, Cindy, I haven't seen you since the Meher Center programs. What a wonderful daughter you have raised. Beautiful, beautiful woman. She is just all heart and soul service and dedication and
Oh,
just
Thursday, thank you so much.
intelligence. You know, her emotional intelligence was just brilliant. Just I saw a new humanity in action. It was just so wonderful. Really enjoyed her.
Oh, Jay Baba. Thank you, Farish Day. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Like, look what Baba made. She was on loan to me. And
That's right.
and I like to say to especially parents, like my clients and stuff, like your only job, this is what I think, is to not kill your child on purpose. And even that will be forgivable. But other than that, just kind of like feed them, try to do your best and love them, and let them come into their form. I didn't know that as an early parent. I'm checking that for my next lifetime.
Yeah, me too.
Would anyone else like to share?
Well, I have been very aware of the illumination that comes with exposure, and the exposure can be very painful, frightening, disturbing, and necessary. And it just seems to me that there's a lot of that is happening now. And so I was appreciating the loom aspect in the Arti of what's happening now on Earth.
Thank you. And the darkness that I brought, that I was offering for the world, is that perception that we're separate from our infinite self, from our soul, from God, that causes us to fear and hate and act in ways of dominion, whatever that is, that what manifests from the the original separation from our divine self, from you are myself, I sing to you in praise. And for everyone to be able to open up the petals of the flowers of the chakras, the 1,000-petal lotus flower, opening up to receive in every level of their being more of that awareness, including myself, of that eternal divinity, and that there is no scarcity, there is no lack, there is no need need for competition because we are one. I and you. Be brave, be happy. I and you are not we but one. Thank you so
And
much. Go ahead.
please, you.
Go ahead, honey.
No,
Oh,
you.
I was just going to share. I'll share that. Well, what I'm going to share, just and then you can share, Ferris Day, is that I don't know if I'm saying his right name, his right name, Aloba or Alaba, the
Alaba.
Baba's
Alaba.
disciple. Alaba. I'm going to share a recording of him with the Australian Arti that I found early on, and it is such a beautiful culmination of this particular series, and radiating that into the world as well. And from now on, the Radiant Health series is going to be on once a month on the second Tuesday of every month, based on that premise of Baba wanting us to be a Baba Center personified, radiating his eternal message of love divine. And that's the new form that it's going to be taking. And that feels like Baba is just inspiring that, the links along the way. So that's what I was going to share. Ferris Day, what would you like to share?
I was very touched by what Susan said, and I'd like to explore it more, but I don't know if this is the right time or place. But the image came to my mind that we are souls peeping in on this little chapter or window of Baba's divine drama. So we're just kind of peeping in here, and we may have a role, and we are here to deal with our own little piece of it. But we're also getting a chance to peek at Baba's divine drama. And what helps me through this process is just having read the Bhagavad Gita and all the dramas that unfolded at that time. And every time the avatar comes, the drama is pretty intense. And this time too, it's just this divine drama that he's playing out for his reasons and for his work. And we just happen to be here peeking in on the drama. So that's the image that came to me. I don't know if that's helpful or not.
I love it. It's like
Uh-huh.
peekaboo. And I love that you shared that, Ferris Day, because I took a walk on the beach today in southern Jersey, and I just started chanting Meher Baba Vasudeva over and over again. And I don't really know what Vasudeva or Devo meant. And I looked it up, and it has to do with like the name of Krishna and coming from Vishnu. And like even the Bhagavad, yeah, I could never say that word. Bhagavad. Could you say it again
Bhagavad
for me?
Gita.
Oh, I love it when you speak like that. Yeah, so to remember, it's like in the Addams Family when Morticia would speak French, like, I love it when you speak like that.
You should see me when
To remember,
we have a couple of French-speaking members of our art group, and when they speak to each other, we just sit there drooling.
Mhm. Mhm.
So beautiful.
I always
Yeah.
like to say that I believe that French, when I hear it and speak it, vibrates to the level of the pleasure of the body in a very intimate way.
I think you're right.
C'est la vie,
Uh-huh.
It's absolutely true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've always said that. All right, dear people, I am going to just play this and then I'll stop the recording. Thank you so much for your vibrant presence, for the peekaboo that we've gotten into each other's perceptions of Baba, the Australian Arti. Thank you to Francis Brabazon and his discipleship that has inspired this right now. And so now I shall endeavor to share my screen.
Hi, Barbara.
I'm going to stop again because I... you guys see this screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Avtar Mer Baba ki jai. Hold on to Baba's daman very fast. Before we leave this place, on sitting up position, don't get up. Sit, we perform Baba's Arti. Oh, glorious, eternal, and Shalva. Come on.
Feel free to
Sit
sing
here,
if you want.
face here. Oh, glorious, eternal, and Shalva.
One, your is bright, bright, transcendental sun. Lighted resistance and love, here's a we. We give to you today. Who you are, truth and truth body, mine avatar. Through redemption that through worlds maintains, destroy ignorance that life sustains. Turn the whirling spokes of love, the wheel that bears me unto death. Love, you are infinitely kind, with the wills of truth conditioned mind. Since is my love, these fruits my heart, together have shaped from my
My
as you would a simple flower, beyond its shiny hour. My sacrifice to you in praise, to bear me through the days. For you, living perfect one, luminous bright darkness with your shining sun.
Avatar Meher Baba
Baba
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Avatar Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Beloved God, help us all
To love you more and
more
more.
and more
More
and
and
more
more.
until
Till you're
And
more.
more.
we become
We become
communion
worthy
with
of
you.
union with
Union
But
you.
with
help us
you.
all hold
To hold
fast
To
to
fast
love
to
the
Baba's
stars.
diamond
Loves in the
Baba's
stars
diamond.
until the very end.
Jai Baba.